positive vegan related news for 2021. I did one of these last year for 2020, obviously, and it got a really positive response, and people have been asking me to do one for 2021 for the last, month or two. I've gotten so many requests to do it, which is great. Obviously, this is not an exhaustive list by any means. There's a lot of other positive vegan news from the last year. This is just kind of the stuff that I wanted to talk about. My favorite stuff, I guess. I've got this sectioned off in the same general categories that I did last year too. So to start with is animal welfare. I mean, all of this is ultimately animal welfare, but I think you know what I mean. So last year it was fur, the dying fur industry, and 2021 was really no different. There are just so many updates. Several countries have banned fur farming. France in November, and the ban went into effect immediately. The 2 remaining mink farms were shut down. Ireland and Italy starting in 2022. British Columbia by 2025, and Estonia starting 2026. In even bigger news, Israel became the first country to ban the sale of fur, with exemptions for scientific research, education, or instruction, and for religious purposes or tradition, but still, this is pretty huge. Using the skin and fur of wildlife for the fashion industry is immoral and is certainly unnecessary. Animal fur coats cannot cover the brutal murder industry that makes them. Signing these regulations will make the Israeli fashion market more environmentally friendly and far kinder to animals. That comes from their Minister of Environmental Protection. There was a time not too long ago where it was impossible to imagine a government official of any country making such a statement about farmed animals of any kind, including animals farmed for fur. This is the kind of stuff that makes me so optimistic for other animals, for animals farmed for food. It's hard to imagine, but this was once hard to imagine, and yet here we are. In addition to countries, many companies have stopped selling fur, including Adidas, Valentino, Canada Goose, and Neiman Marcus. Elle has banned fur from all of their magazines, from the pages of all of the editions of their magazine. Good news for monkeys too. Target and Kroger have joined a host of other chains in agreeing to stop selling the Chowco, however you say it, coconut milk. Remember back in 2020, PETA did a really important undercover investigation exposing monkey labor monkeys used to harvest coconuts, and Chowco and I believe another brand were investigated and shown to be using monkeys to make their coconut milk. And so because of that, several chains, again now including Target and Kroger, no longer sell this brand. In cosmetic testing, we have Mexico. Mexico became the first country in North America to ban the manufacture and sale of cosmetic products tested on animals. In the US, we have Virginia, Maryland, Maine, and Hawaii. They have now joined California, Nevada, and Illinois in banning cosmetic animal testing. In other animal welfare / animal rights news, Turkey passed an animal rights bill. Unsurprisingly, it seems to extend only to certain animals like pets and circus animals, elephants, dolphins, whatnot, not farmed animals. But still, banning pet shops and circuses is still a huge deal, certainly a huge deal for those animals, and potentially gives activists a foot in the door, right? An opening for lobbying for the same treatment for other animals. The UK government has deemed certain invertebrates like crabs and octopuses as sentient beings, and thereby they must be included in the new Animal Welfare Sentience Bill. It's not clear exactly what this means for invertebrates or vertebrates. Any new legislation will have to take into account the fact that animals can experience feelings such as pain or joy. Is pretty vague, but certainly a step in the right direction. Finally, Louis Bullard, I'm not sure how to say his name, but he put this lovely list together for the Open Philanthropy Farm Animal Welfare newsletter, including that the European Commission has promised a ban on almost all cages and crates for the more than 340 million farm animals caged across the European Union. And I said finally, but again, really not finally. There's so much more good news for farmed and entertainment animals to come out of the last year. Excluding the whole hippos are considered persons in the US now, I think that was a little overblown, unfortunately. Clean meat, lots of good news for lab-grown products. The world's largest chicken exporter partnered with Israeli clean meat company Aleph Foods to bring lab-grown meat to Brazil. Nestle partnered with Future Meat Technologies, another clean meat startup, and they hope to have something on the market by the end of 2022. You could actually order clean meat by Eat Just from a Singapore restaurant. This was back in April. I don't know if this is still a thing, but just the fact that you could call up a restaurant, yes, it was just one restaurant, but still, that's pretty huge. And we might soon finally have animal-free dairy cheese. In public perception, I think one of the biggest changes over the last year has come from food celebrities. I think this, more than almost anything, shows how accepting the general public is of veganism and plant-based eating. Some of them, like Carla Hall, seem to have a genuine personal interest in veganism or flexitarianism, reducetarianism, that sort of thing. But people like Gordon Ramsay, they're making vegan recipes because people are demanding vegan recipes, right? I don't believe for a second that Gordon Ramsay himself is interested in veganism, but that's still great. Gordon Ramsay making vegan recipes is still Gordon Ramsay making vegan recipes and partnering with Oatly or whoever he partnered with. That's great. Also, Philadelphia has the country's first vegan welcome center, the American Vegan Center. It's an actual place that you can go and learn about like local history of vegetarianism, veganism in Philadelphia. Non-vegan companies adding vegan options. This is where I really had to pare down. There's just so many. Hidden Valley plant-powered ranch dressing. I kind of remember hearing about this and then that was it. I don't think I've seen this, although I don't really go and look at dressings in the store, I guess. So yeah, has anyone tried this? Is it any good? Taco Bell is still working with Beyond Meat. I know there's been a little bit of confusion and people thought that maybe the deal fell through because it looked like Taco Bell was doing their own thing, and they are. It seems like they are making their own vegan meat and they have trialed that, I think, in a few locations, but they did confirm that they are still working with Beyond Meat on making ground beef, I guess. Baby Bell cheese. This is a very recent announcement. You know, the little circle, the little red wax circles with the little cheese wheel inside. I ate a million of those growing up. Well, now they have a vegan one and it comes in a little green wax, and I think that's going to be available pretty soon. Breyers adds 2 new non-dairy flavors, almond-based mint chocolate chip and chocolate chip. Apparently they added 2 flavors back in 2017, Oreo cookies and cream and vanilla peanut butter. I've never tried or even seen any of these. I remember hearing about the mint chip a while ago and I was really excited because that was my favorite ice cream, specifically the Breyers mint chip growing up. I loved it. So I was really excited to try a vegan one, but it's where? I can't find it anywhere. Oh, and they're like cheap too. They're like $3.99 for a tub, like not a pint, but the Breyers tub. So yeah, has anyone found these? Are they good? They're almond based, I think, almond milk based. Chinese fast food chain Dicos, I'm sure I'm saying it correctly, replaced eggs with Just Egg. Now, it seems like they replaced all of the eggs they were using with Just Egg, which is very cool. Also, this was back January of last year, and I couldn't find any updates, so I don't know if they still are doing this. That would be awesome, but I'm not sure. KFC tested a meatless chicken earlier this year, and now they say they hope to release a better version soon, seemingly nationwide at all locations. What we're trying to replicate is a tenderloin where you actually have the muscle fibers. The texture is a bit more pleasing than what we call a chewed and glued. It's a different technology. Spain's largest pizza chain, Telepizza, added vegan meat and cheese to its menu back in January. It appears that it's still there. You can still buy these vegan pizzas. This is something I never thought about, but UK barristers, their wigs, traditionally they are made from horsehair. Samuel March, a lawyer in training and an animal advocate, decided to change that. Here he's wearing a hemp-based wig. He says, will it pass in court? So I don't know if he actually has worn this or has this been okayed. I don't know. I don't know how any of that works, but still, it's cool. And it's also, I know it's supposed to be positive. It's kind of sad because I feel like every day you learn about like another instance of animal exploitation. It's like, oh, the wigs. Oh God, that's just another thing. But look, there are people out there already trying to change it. So now in government investment news, I felt like there was more news last year, unless I missed some, but this is pretty huge. The USDA is giving a $10 million grant to Tufts University to create the National Institute for Cellular Agriculture. So yes, the US government has now officially invested in clean meats. Denmark will invest about $190 million for advancing plant-based foods. It includes a bonus for farmers who grow plant-based protein crops for human consumption. Not quite monetary investment, but Seoul has released a guide to help people find vegetarian and vegan options in the city. And finally, for this something weird, Dr. Bronner's, you know, the soap, the natural soap with all the weird kind of creepy words lecture on the packaging, they have chocolate bars now. Again, there's just so much more. It's ridiculous. There's a reason this takes me a long time to get out, because I go through a lot of different stuff, and sometimes I have to try and verify stuff like the cocaine hippos. But again, I think I said this last year, you know, if you're feeling down, which there's a good chance you are, given the state of the world over the last couple of years, I highly recommend just really going to Veg News and like reading through headlines. For the most part, they're a reliable source, I've found. Again, the hippos, you know, I mean, every vegan news source kind of got that wrong. But for the most part, they're reliable. Food Navigator is another really good one if you're looking specifically for like advancements in plant-based meats, clean meats, stuff like that. Good Food Institute, again, same sort of thing, talking about plant-based alternatives and lab-grown meat. Louis Bullard, his Twitter account is terrific. It's probably my favorite Twitter account. It's just full of great positive advancements for farmed animals. And I guess that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Give the video a like if you did. Subscribe if you want to see more stuff from me. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when I upload. If you want to support the channel, you can. Patreon.com/unnaturalvegan. Thank you so much to patrons who support me over there. Oh, and Happy New Year. I meant to say that at the beginning and I forgot. Happy New Year. This will be gone next video, unless I'm real lazy. Oh, and please share your favorite news stories from the year down below. I'm sure there's stuff I missed. Again, I had to like cull a bunch of stuff, but yeah, thanks again. New video soon.